some great news about a new product suite, as well as their cybersecurity event starts today. It's going to be on my watch list. I'm going to be watching it throughout the day to see how it performs. Waiting for announcements, possibly that they're going to get a deal from the US DoD. So BlackBerry's there. It's up a little bit pre-market, but not a ton. I am excited to see what this does today.
Morning, Millennial.
Morning.
What's going on today? Took me 2 hours to get both my monitors working.
We got phenomenal BlackBerry news on a new security suite that's AI run. Oh, interesting.
I was actually thinking of taking or selling a put on Space today.
Why is that?
For end of week, just a $50 gain, really easy.
Yeah, I am wondering if it declines. Like, we're in that awkward stage where typically 2 weeks before the launch. So next week it starts to pick up steam normally into the launch, but into the end of the week, I like there's not much going on with it for sure. So hard for me to say.
Yeah, and it's more of a trying to like theta it out almost.
Morning, Erica.
Like SPY's hitting 340s today.
I mean, people can downplay Trump coming back all they want, but that's it.
I think
it's a big
stimulus
deal.
news. I think stimulus is pumping it right now.
What's the news on
The
stimulus?
anticipation of that more than anything.
What's the stimulus news?
That they're actually going to come to an agreement.
Who's saying that?
Where's it? Let me go back to where I'm devising this from.
I see Pelosi and I see Schumer saying it's going to happen, but that means nothing.
It basically, I mean, that's what I think the market is actually believing. Whether we believe it or not, that's a different story.
The House
yeah,
passed the
just
relief
like
bill on Thursday, although it's unlikely to move forward in its current form through the Republican-led Senate. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has indicated that he would not support any legislation that costs more than $2 trillion.
More than likely, I think it's gonna push a bit, and then it's gonna get the no and get a little bit of a rug pull and refactor and do it again.
I think this Trump tweet is probably a little bit of positive sentiment, where it's our great USA wants and needs stimulus, work together and get it done.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be fueling it a little bit, but the Democrats would have to come down. The House, I should say, it's not the Democrats. The House is going to have to come down below that $2 trillion mark, and I don't know that they're willing to do that.
Yeah, like when I'm looking at space, I'm trying to either October 16. If you do a $20 put, it's $78. But I just don't like space's implied volatility. It feels like it's too low right now.
Yeah, I mean,
to sell one is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy a
Good
put
morning,
now,
laptop. Good morning, Awika. How you guys doing today? Super pumped for BlackBerry today. They dropped some big news pre-market, so we'll be watching that. I will be taking a look at AMC today as well.
But then again, if it falls below that, I either take a loss or I bag hold the shares. Which this would be the week to bag hold the shares.
Holy crap. AMC is $4.
Millennial, are you streaming?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember seeing AMC in the 3s, and I
Okay, so AMC is what I want to look at. We are going to build out a what if Biden wins? What is what's up, Bugatti? We are going to build out a what if the Republicans win portfolio and a what if the Democrats win portfolio today at some point. So if you guys want to be a part of that, I'm excited to have you around. We are also going to be watching BlackBerry very closely, AMC very closely on the news that more of the blockbusters from Christmas have been pushed, not even just pushed a couple years out. The Batman with Robert Pattinson, which was a huge tease, people were really excited for this coming up, is now been pushed to 2022, which is a way far away. I will be streaming market hours moving forward, Bugatti. I'm not sure if you've been around for that, but I have been trying to stream market open for at least a couple of hours, so into 11 o'clock at least. That way, it's not just pre-market analysis, but we're actually watching what's happening as the market opens. So moving forward, this is going to be a regular occurrence. What are your guys' thoughts on AMC, or not AMC, movie industry as a whole, with all of those films being pushed? Wonder Woman's all that's left. Do they just close up shop on all this?
Hey, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening. Currently you are hot mic, but it's
Evening.
because I
Yeah, I
just
was gonna-
want to. Oh, did I say good evening?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm.
Was
Apparently, I'm
Chris
still
Gregory
high from
said
last
good
night.
evening because I think
Um,
it's evening for him.
AMC guys and the film industry. Wonder Woman's all that's left for Christmas. Do we think AMC actually goes lower than $4?
Well, you can sell call spreads.
I don't know what that means.
You got to keep it simple for us, Rita.
So basically, you're selling the insurance above a certain price. So you don't even have to bet that it goes lower than $4. You just have to bet that it stays at $4 or under. So you're adding more probability into the equation because it could stay at $4 and then you still make money or even rise a little.
And how do you do said call spread?
You sell an option at, I don't know, say 450 and then buy one at 5 for protection.
So I sell a call?
Yeah, but you have to buy the protection above that somewhere.
You buy the call for a cheaper rate than you sold for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, Rita?
Yep.
So that way, if it does go up, your value goes up extrinsically more than what the sold call will go down.
More so for the industry as a whole, do you think that the US actually just closes up shop like the UK has done, or do you think that they continue to operate with really only
Depends
one
on-
film?
Depends on blue state or red state. I
You
don't know,
think
I
you
haven't
think
looked
it's really
into
going
it
to draw on
much.
party lines?
Well, the government's going to mandate things. Oh, do you mean like the business?
Yeah. The theater industry as we know it in the UK, when they saw that Bond got pushed, they just said we're closed. We're closed up shop until this COVID thing is done because nobody's coming into the theaters. Do you think that we actually see the big players like AMC, Cineplex, Odeon? Do you think we see those guys just go, you know what? Until this COVID crap is done, there are no movie theaters.
I mean, I did boots on the ground kind of research this weekend, and anything with a patio is toe up. Anything indoors, dead.
Hmm.
So unless they made any progress, you know, flipping to like maybe drive-in movies or any of that shit,
No.
then they're dead. With the way corporations operate, they don't have time because they carry so much debt. Now, the Federal Reserve is creating zombie companies. So it may exist for a while, but I don't think it continues up. But I said that with Simon Property Group, and that didn't work out well for me.
autofilled.
Are you fucking shitting me? Oh, I almost lost my shit. Oh, I was almost so upset. I thought IB just liquidated my space position. Oh, man.
Why
They
would
set
they do that?
they sent me a warning that my equity is insufficient for my margin.
Right, they're increasing the margin requirement as we go into November.
And so I was trying to sell 4 or 5 of my ACRX contracts just to, make it so that there's enough cash in there to cover whatever's in there. But like I'm not trading on margin. I don't understand why that's even popping up. It's all cash.
It could just be a standard email that they send out to everybody.
I got it.
Yeah, not happy about that.
Also, Rita, I had
Morning, everybody. How's it going?
Where like
Okay, market open.
Why?
Hold on. Millennia, are you on stream?
Yeah, he is.
Can they hear us?
They can right now. I can mute.
So I had this epiphany.
You're now muted. Question is, can movie studios allow big theaters to close? I guess. I think they have to. Morning, guys. Morning. We are watching BlackBerry out to close today. They had a fairly big announcement here, so I want to see what they do. Okay, they had a big buy up to 425, and then they come right back down. She's getting her setup in order. She will be streaming again, guys. Be interesting to see what this does today. I haven't checked insider buying. I was really just going through the news. I was up late today, guys. I wasn't here first thing in the morning like I like to be. So, unfortunately, I wasn't here for that. But Martini, people are asking when the return of Martini stream is. All right, guys. I know you can't hear. They're having a conversation that's off mic. There will be an email going out. Decisions and emails will be pursuant. I don't Ghost Orb. I think that's too close, man. In my opinion. In my opinion, guys, this is AMC. Shoot, I wanted to be watching BlackBerry. Yeah, so BlackBerry jumped up to 450 and is holding that line. Guys, do I think AMC is going to go bankrupt? Absolutely not. I don't. I don't think that. And so where it is right now, let's go back a year. It was up around $10, right? This looks like a double up possibility. It's just how low can we go, right? What's up, Chi-Chi's? I think the question really is how low can we go? I'm going to be building out a what if the Democrats win and what if Republicans win ETFs today, I think, at some point. I think we're at that time where as these stimulus talks are going to fizzle again and we're heading into kind of that last month before election, I think now's the time to start looking at what are the plays if and when elections happen and it goes either way. Let's check the scanner here, see what's going on. Pioneer Power, low float, Power Pup. $0.13 stock. What is this? Naked. NAKD. Naked regains compliance. What the heck do they do? Women's and men's intimate apparel and women's swimwear. So lingerie and apparel. This is a dying business. I wouldn't touch it. This is kind of interesting news here, guys. Yeah, they just got back compliance. This is interesting news here. Grubhub and Link Inc.'s exclusive partnership. Yeah, Ghost Orb. I am thinking. I'm thinking a long-term hold on AMC. I'm thinking buy and hold for 5 years. Yeah, I don't know anything about crypto either, so if it's not the digital one, I'm not looking at it. That's the only one, like a state mandated and controlled and operated digital currency is the only one that I think I would actually take a look at. And China just says your country will use this now, and people have to use it, right? That's what I'm looking at as far as adoption goes. My price target on ALNA, I don't have one. I would say the analysts are all saying $18, but it's over 12 months, so I'll say 15. They must know something that I don't about the approval process because I was looking at it and they are only mid phase 2, so I would give them another year before they hit anything, and that's if they hit it. I'm not as bullish on ALNA as I have been in the past. Looking at their pipeline, I wasn't really solid on that. BlackBerry's a 10-year play, and I see it at $40, $50. Grubhub and Lyft now have an agreement. What is Lyft Pink? Lyft Pink members now get a complimentary Grubhub Plus membership. I did not buy any PLTR. Did you take a look at GLYC when you get a chance? I'm not sure how good the news is, but they did complete it. And yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I did see the pediatric disease designation on it. Let's take a look at it right now, just so I don't forget. GLYC. Open up the notebook here. All right. Glycomimetics. Analysts have it the high at 15. Average is $9. This is a long hold, though, guys. Yeah, I think it depends on the area as well as far as free vaccine goes. I think that in North America, that may be different than, say, if you were to offer it for free in, continental Africa, India. I mean, heck, you could even go into. I mean, this would cause a huge red flag in the States. So I was going to say, if you create an income threshold that if your income was under this, you get the vaccine for free. I don't know if the Democrats take that as a good thing or a bad thing, but I mean, on the bad side, it could be like, well, this is eugenics. You rush through a drug and you don't know if it's safe, and you're offering it to the poor. Or it could be the other side if it's their idea, and it's like, listen, we want people that can't afford medication to be able to afford it. It would be definitely interesting to see.
Yeah, let's see how this plays out. I just
Japan's
saw the
so
news
far
now,
in
it's-
debt.
it's-
Yeah, Japan's so far in
it's-
debt. Who cares? They'll take on more debt.
They own a lot of the U.S. debt, though. I think they're the number one owner of that.
No, we've looked into this before. They're not number one. Somebody else was
What?
number one. Yeah, we looked into this before.
I thought originally we said it was China, but it was actually Japan.
Oh, maybe that was it. Maybe it was that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's close. This is as of March. Japan held 18% of the debt, and China holds 15% of the debt. Now, my issue with that is, like, we say Japan and China, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's add in Hong Kong, like all of the other little bits and pieces, right? Hong Kong owns
Right. When you say
3.5.
when you say China, you mean Hong Kong and probably Taiwan as well.
I was
right?
thinking Taiwan as well, yeah. And like Hong Kong and Taiwan both own 3% themselves. So it's like, well, China technically has 20% of the debt. If you want to throw in Singapore too, that's 22%. Basically, all the countries that would be mandated to use the digital yuan. It's like, okay, well, China technically owns all their debt too. This is an interesting chart. How much .net?
Which one?
The site is called howmuch.net, and there's a bunch of infographics about the richest cities in the US, international market for computer device exports, visualizing coronavirus economic impact on major corporations. There's a lot of very interesting data here. I like it. I like it. I like it.
I like data. Ooh, I like their layout. Maybe it's my slow internet connection, but it all looks like gamified and pixely. So maybe it looks different.
I'm not dropping any frames. It looks pretty solid for me. I wish I could up it to 60 FPS, but I can't. It won't let me go past 30 because it's streaming on LinkedIn.
I don't mean your stream. I mean my computer loading the page.
Wow. Okay,
I
so
can't do stream in the hostel. It's too slow.
who wants to build a Democrat ETF?
Who wants to build an ETF?
Rename Democrat. I'll call it the President Biden ETF.
I know one. Something that Kernel was up about 400 or 40% on this year.
I'm gonna just mute you there, and yeah, TAN's a great ETF if you like that sector. That's all I'm gonna say on that subject, and not ever talk about it again. All right, let's take a look here. In the event, guys, that the Democrats win the election, what sectors do you think we are going to see explode? Now, Biden has said the New Green Deal is not his plan. He is not a fan of the New Green Deal. So don't anybody just start giving me green energy crap. Okay, right away we get green energy. Okay, so green. Green energy. I'm just looking for sectors. I'm not looking for. We'll break down the stocks. Weed, yeah, pot is going to be a big one. Do you think guns do well under a Democrat president? Like, do people rush to their Second Amendment? Like, I need to buy guns. DGLY, taser. Okay, so we're saying police and security. Okay. And Lodex, I did hear about BlackBerry. I am watching it today. I'm pretty excited. Yeah, I mean, Chainmail, my issue with that is Biden, if there is a right-leaning Supreme Court and Biden tries to make the gun corporations suable as individuals, there's no way the Supreme Court allows that to go through. Like, there's no way that I am sure the Supreme Court, if it's right-leaning, would see that as an infringement on the rights of gun owners everywhere, and it would kibosh that crap real quick. Okay, if we're talking about Biden works well with Yo-Yo, what's up? If Biden works well with the auto industry, are we saying the auto industry as a whole, or are we saying companies like Tesla, Fisker, SPAC? Is that what we're looking at? What do you think? EV or traditional automotive under Biden? Yeah, it's got to be EV then. China's making a hard push into EV. Healthcare under Biden. I personally think healthcare would be worse under Biden because he's going to try to put through that state mandated healthcare, which limits the profit taking that these bio companies can take, which would then in turn hurt their bottom line. I think that Biden is bad for healthcare. I'm not talking about individuals getting their healthcare for free from the government. I'm not talking socialized medicine. I'm just talking um, traditional auto can only go up. No, traditional auto can go bankrupt. Um, Yeah, there has to be some serious evolution out of these automotive companies, but I think that EV players are going to have a really strong look. ACRX jumped to $2 on the news that they're saving hospitals massive amounts of money. It dropped back down because of biodegradation. It will come back when we get a confirmation on military contracts into the end of October, as well as their earnings in November, and then formulary approval into Q1 as well as possible. I'm starting to get a little bit greedy with them and thinking I might wait into Q1 to exit instead of Q4, but we'll play it by ear. We'll see what's going on. Okay, green energy, weed, police, security, EV. Is that it? Is that all we see? Who are they going to bail out? We know that they're going to bail out. What were some of their high points? They wanted to bail out mailing and shipping. So USPS isn't publicly traded, but FedEx, airlines. Something like agricultural stocks. Typically, the Democrats are not agriculture because they're focused on urban centers, not rural centers. Usually, the people fighting for agriculture are the Republican side. Um, Infrastructure is good no matter who wins. I would say no, actually. So the big thing that we have to take into consideration on both of these ETFs is that it is a conservative controlled Supreme Court. Okay, so when we're talking about items of infrastructure, let's talk about the big things that are about to come into the Supreme Court, which, as far as infrastructure is concerned, are the pipelines, right? So if we see Biden try to kibosh the pipelines, oh, as it relates to green technology, yeah, sure. I think we put that in green energy though, for sure. Um, but as far as like infrastructure goes, I think a lot of the infrastructure is already in place with green tech as far as what we're seeing. Herein lies the genius of Tesla. He already has built the infrastructure. It's already there. People just thought it was for cars and they don't realize that it's not. Um, so I agree he's going to bail out airlines. I think the Democrats would see that as a necessity. I don't know that we see casinos, hotels, travel tourism bailed out, though. You think the Democrats bail out cruise lines? Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think they see it as an oil play. I think they see that as a transportation thing. I think they see that like repairing the highways. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when we get to the Republican side, that'll be it for sure. My prediction on the U.S. election, I've been in Trump's corner from go. I think he takes it again. And my five head Putin strategy on it is this: that by shutting down, by shutting down the initial cash injection into the USPS, they've been able to make mail-in ballots less efficient. So anybody that is mailing in their ballots is less likely to have the votes counted within the first few weeks of the election. Now, that being said, you look at the two parties and where they're pushing people to vote. And the Republicans all along have been saying, go vote in person, go vote in person, go vote in person. Whereas the Democrats have been saying, mail it in, mail it in, mail it in. On the night of the election, I see it coming in that Trump claims victory because the initial ballots, the people that voted in person, are Republican leaning. The Democrats will say, well, no, you can't claim the election because there's so many ballots to be counted by mail. And then Trump just stomps his feet for the next 2 weeks saying this is ridiculous. The country needs a president. We're in a state of emergency. It'll go to the Supreme Court like it has in the past with Bush and Gore. And I expect the Supreme Court to rule, yep, we need a president right now. We're in a state of emergency. The country needs somebody making decisions. We can't hold out any longer. It's not that we don't want to believe in the mail-in ballots. It's just that we need to have a president. And as of right now, on the night of, the votes say that Trump won. So Trump won. And then the Democrats will continue pushing and whining and moaning against it. But the reality is, once the Supreme Court has ruled on it, that's it. She's done. He's president. It sucked for Al Gore because he technically won the election against Bush, but he didn't because the Supreme Court gave it to Bush. So here we are. Yeah, it's long only. I'm only gonna look at long. I want to keep it super simple. I'm not gonna. I mean, obviously you short the inverse, right? So it's like, okay, if EVs are a sector we see Biden pushing on, then that means that traditional automotive like Ford and GM that are slow to move, you would take puts against. If police and security is high, then you would take, I guess, traditional weapons. So Ricker, Smith and Wesson. Green energy, instead you go with oil. Weed, you go into traditional biopharma, right? Like you would short companies that make psychotropic drugs, if antidepressants, if you think that weed is just going to be open against the board. I guess you could actually bet against alcohol if you really think that weed is going to come to the market hard, or if you think that weed being legalized increases alcohol consumption. That's another play there as well. I wonder though, what do you guys think? If weed goes legal stateside, do you think alcohol consumption goes up or down? People keep doing what they're doing. What about?
There has to be another like factor related, because people are more inclined to jump to it when they're losing their jobs or like the economy shit or some shit. Some bad situations.
What about tobacco sales?
Yeah, no, I'm
Tobacco goes down.
Tobacco goes down, right?
Only if the world is bad, in my opinion, because that was my thing. The vices of alcohol and tobacco are always going to be there in times of depression. People lean hard on that.
Okay, so I don't think they bail out cruise lines, but what about domestic travel tourism? Six Flags, SeaWorld, Disney. Hotels. Think we see a cash injection for them? New generations of alcoholics are born every day. Well, this is the fun of planning out an ETF, guys, is I'm going to put these in here, and I'm going to then take these sectors and break it down into stocks that I like inside those sectors. And then I'm going to put it in as though I took a position in these today and gauge whether or not this is a profitable strategy. And if it is, then every 4 years when we come back to elections, I will lean into the Democrats, and I will, well, depending on who it looks like is going to take the election, I'll lean into one side or the other. I'm making the assumption that if Trump wins this one, it'll be a Democrat next time, no matter what. But whatever is more unionized. Ooh. So
depends on who's going to be running after Trump.
I think whoever runs after Trump it's like the poor schmuck that it's like up here in Canada, the poor schmuck that took over after Harper, right? Like there's no way you're getting there. I think we see the same thing happen down there. And I think Yang is going to get the bill next time. And Yang is just, I think he's too popular among lukewarm Republicans.
That would actually make me flip if it was Yang. But that reminds me, Twitter. How about the social media platforms?
Oh, that's a good idea. Social media would do well under them because they're going to... Actually, I don't know about that because that Section 230 protest, that was bipartisan. The Democrats want more control over that as well. Now, obviously, they are going to be more lenient, though. They're not going to be as much of a pain in the ass for social media as Trump has been. I'll put it in there.
That's why I was reading more Twitter.
All right, I think that's a good start on that one. Let's go to President Trump. So we're saying oil. We're saying he's not going to legalize weed. So is tobacco a play to the positive side if Trump stays in office? I mean, I guess it's just a sideways. It's not going to go down. It's not going to go up either. I think we just scrap it under Trump. Now, police and security, I think, is one for both, but I think we also put firearms in here if Trump wins.
Okay, ¿dónde está? I got it.
Hey, Watts, you want to go on mute?
Theo.
Oil, police and security, firearms. What is that rattling in the background? That's the Discord chat. Sorry about that. Okay, what else under Trump does well? Police, security, firearms, oil, XLF, like financials. Do you think banks would do well, right?
I don't think they would.
No? Under a Republican government?
I honestly don't think they would. I think banks are just going to be banks, no matter what kind of government.
Ammo? Yeah, I'll put firearms and ammo.
They do well, but the problem is that you're not going to outweigh the fact. So I don't know when I got cucked by push to talk, but
the fact what?
I think they would do well, except for the fact that they are keeping loan loss reserves, and so you're gonna reduce the performance of the bank because it's just sitting in cash and it's not doing anything.
Right.
And they're holding some stupid amount, like 20%. So I just don't think that's a good play to put in there, but that's just my opinion.
No, and that's what we're doing. We're brainstorming. So yeah, I think I'm there with you. I don't think EV solar regardless. I disagree. I think that under Trump, EV is not going to be the same. Well, solar isn't going to be the same play. EV maybe, but I don't think solar is going to be as strong under Trump. His EPA gives two shits about wind, solar, hydro. Like it wants oil. Those pipelines are going through. If Trump wins, expect pipelines aplenty. Which is actually really good for the economy as far as when you build infrastructure like that. All of a sudden, these little cash booms pop up as the pipeline is being built, and it kind of follows the pipeline. I mean, I still see EV. I don't think that EV at this. I think EV is just replacing the automotive industry at this point. It's going to slowly work to phase out traditional automotive. I'm not saying that's a quick thing, 15, 20 years, but what else? Oh, that's an interesting idea. Take a look at the party's largest contributors. Republican, top Republican donors. Oh, casinos. Right away, Las Vegas Sands is one of the top Republican. So I'm going to put casinos in there. Sheldon Adelson, the billionaire founder of Las Vegas Sands, is the single biggest donor to the Republican and conservative cause. It's also saying General Electric and Honeywell. This is interesting. What if you just made an ETF of the top donors for each party? I don't see why not. I don't think Trump really cares about gambling being legal nationwide. The man has owned casinos. It doesn't violate his morality in any way. It's just more money for more people. Interstate commerce and transportation.
If you could get a report on dark money, I think that would be better for the ETF.
I'm looking at these companies that are the top Republican conservative companies. So Adelson Drug Clinic and Las Vegas Sands are both the same guy that owns them. Amway, UPS, Citigroup, General Electric, Lockheed, Bank of America, Verizon, Morgan Stanley. Ooh, Verizon 5G. Do you think Space Force aligns well with what Tesla's doing with Starlink? Do you think that those fall in the same bracket of US dominant space presence? Is space a sector that we've got to consider into the Republicans? I know when he mentioned Space Force on that tweet, the Democrats lit up like, this is stupid, space is stupid. I don't know, the Democrats were laughing pretty hard at space when he mentioned it. It seemed like their narrative was, we need to take care of our planet Earth first before we head into space.
Well, they did go to the moon back then, didn't they?
Yeah. But JFK's Democrats are not today's Democrats.
No, I mean like how they sold it to the people.
Yeah. I think Trump built the Space Force because China built the Space Force. I think it was reactionary. China started developing space weapons, and Trump's like, oh yeah, we should probably have it.
Well, back then it was the Russians. So there you go. It will grow.
Interesting. There's a lot of different opinions on space as an industry. That's because NASA's broke. Like, NASA has single-handedly undermined their own authority in their industry, and they are no longer the leaders in what they were built to be. Everybody used to look to NASA for anything with space, and now it's like, nah, you guys really aren't that hot. You don't really have the forefront of what's going on. I think their pairing with Boeing was a bit of a black eye for them in a big way of like, well, I know you gave all that money to Boeing, but Tesla beat you there, even with all the money that you gave Boeing. So, and then you got guys like Virgin that are showing up and going, yeah, we know that you're not going to give us any money, so we're just going to do it on our own, and they're beating Boeing too.
I'm surprised Virgin still has money. They're like airlines and other shit kind of bleeds money. I think the only thing they have is their telecom that's profitable, right?
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to lead to more diversity. I think it's going to lead to an oligarchy. I think you're going to see the same companies that keep popping up on this thing keep popping up. I don't think a small player wants to really go up against Tesla when it comes to space. It's such an expensive endeavor to get involved in.
I mean, they'll try. I said, doesn't mean they won't try.
I guess that's true. Okay, so who do I like then? Okay, that's enough sectors. Let's break down companies now. Green energy. Everybody's gonna tell me tan. What else are we looking at? Are we throwing companies like Fuel Cell in here?
For
Yes,
what? What
it's
side is
in
this
there.
for?
We're back to the Democrats now, and we're breaking down the sectors into actual tickers. So green energy, what tickers come to mind?
SLR.
What is it? Sol? SOL?
VSLR.
VSLR? I don't care if it's Chinese owned or not. This is this is the Democrat portfolio. It doesn't matter if it's Chinese.
Well, I guess.
Knee, okay. Okay. Pot stocks, we're looking at Prawn, CGC. Somebody say it. Somebody say it. ACB, yeah.
God's Miracle Girl.
Oh yeah, what's the ticker on Scott's? Martini's all about sell the picks. Sell the pickaxes, don't sell the gold rights. Scott's Miracle Grow. I'm spelling this wrong for sure, yeah. Who owns Scott's Miracle Grow? SMG.
It's its own ticker. Okay, there you go.
Okay. Okay, so that's weed. Yeah, ACB. ICLN. What is ICLN? I've never heard of that. Global Clean Energy Index. Interesting. Okay. ICLN. Okay, police and security, DGLY. Who else? Who makes tasers?
Son, the body cameras.
What is that?
The body cameras.
AAXN?
I think it's AXON or something.
Yeah, AAXN. Planet 13. What is Planet 13? This is OTC. Oh, it's a pot company, OTC. Yeah, I'm gonna stay off of the OTC for pot stocks. There's plenty that are on the actual market that are dog shit that I can trade.
They have to be regulated too.
Yeah. Okay, so EV then we're looking at Tesla, we're looking at NIO, we're looking at. Do I put GM here? I'll put SPAC because they've got Fisker. Workhorse. Yeah, I want a pure play though, Bitalus. I don't want to take Altria because they're so tied to tobacco, and that's something that we said there was potential to go down. GE would be airlines, so I'll give you GE. Boeing is gonna do well.
Would be anything in tech, like
AL. Yeah, Tesla's there. Tech sector. Well, I mean, they like Amazon, right? They like.
I thought they were anti-Amazon because they're like just too big of a monopoly or some shit.
Socialists don't care about that.
I mean, sorry, I mean the workers. The workers, no, the was it the lack of unions or some shit?
Yeah, so I mean,
and
the Democrats will let them unionize, and then it'll be the same thing as anything else. Amazon's still going to make a pile of money. Maybe I won't put that in there.
robots.
Face them out with robots. The robots are coming, people. The robots are
They've already
coming.
been doing that, though. They've already been doing that. People laugh, but like they've already. It's the smartest thing to do. What's better to you? Like have, was it 20, like probably 40, 50 employees or something like that, all making 30K a year, versus the robots, which you only have to pay like maybe a couple mechanics here and there to maintain.
I guess Microsoft has to go in here because they've got the Jedi contract, right? No, I think pharma will be down again. If the Democrats win, I think pharma goes down. When you start mandating what insurance companies will and will not pay to pharmaceutical companies, and you start diving into what these pharmaceutical companies are charging, and start putting restrictions on how much they can charge, I think biopharma hurts under the Democrats.
Hey, read up about oil and gold right now. Holy crap! Oil just oil
What about it?
Oil started this week at 330. Sorry, 37 something, and now it's breaking 40. And gold has just been slowly climbing back up.
Well, everyone's afraid of inflation rearing its ugly head. So maybe people are buying commodities. I'm not sure. That's exactly. Oil is harder, but gold is a pure play into inflation. You could see what happened when you went into the financial crisis if you look at gold.
Mhm. Oh my God, Costco, are you gonna hit 400? Oh
Real estate under the Democrats. Do we think they? No, Democrats like to drive people into urban centers. That's typically where they control the vote. They want people living in big cities. They don't want people living out in the podunks. I think real estate booms more so under the Republicans because people are going to be driven out from the major cities.
Waste management.
Waste management under the Democrats, right? What is that? WMT?
I think it'd be good under both, actually, because I mean, they're all going to produce. Let's face it, everybody's going to produce trash.
Nobody thinks about taking out the trash.
What's waste management? It's not WMT, it's WM?
Yes, WM.
Yeah, it's a little too pricey for those things. Okay.
Oh wait, you had a price marker too. I didn't realize.
I'm trying to keep it under $100.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so what do we have here? We've got 15 stocks. Let's say it's a $100,000 portfolio. Let's divide it equally across the portfolio. Something's not right with that math. What's going on here? Oh, some. No, I don't want that. Why wouldn't it just...
Hey, Rita, did you guys come to an agreement?
This is post-election. No, you're not hot mic'd. I muted you as soon as you said. Space Touch 22, just the tip. Just the tip. I'll be there in spirit. I'll drink one for the team here. Okay, so on the Republican side, oil stocks that are going to do well. ET, DAK, XOM. Firearms and ammo. What are the stocks for that, guys? SWBI, so it's Smith & Wesson, Ruger, OLN. Okay, military, it's Lockheed Martin. What else? Oh, no, Lockheed's outside the price range. What do we have in military? Well, that's over the price target. Oops. Bizzle? Is this the drones? I guess it could be there. We're saying EV either way, but I wouldn't put Neo in here. I would put SPAC in here. Anything that's going to be made stateside, I guess GM I would put in on this one. Casinos, LVS, D-King, Penn, MGM. 5G would be Verizon, T-Mobile. Oh, T-Mobile's over the price. Space would be SPCE. What else is a space play? Do we have another space play other than space and Tesla? T for 5G, T-Mobile or AT&T. Okay. CPSH. No, the guy that I know who works at Disney, he put out a couple of. Yeah, the guy that I know that works at Disney put out a couple of posts last week saying, if you've lost your job at Disney, please reach out to me. I want to try to help you as much as I possibly can. So he put out a couple of tweets or a post on LinkedIn saying, if you worked at Disney and you've lost your job, please reach out to me. I will try to find you employment somewhere else. I know it's a hard time for the whole Disney family at the moment. So, I mean, this is the guy that used to be the chief creative officer for Disney. He stepped back when Bob Iger was getting out. But yeah, he was putting calls out to his ex-Disney friends saying, I know a lot of you are getting laid off right now, so if you need help, just touch base with me. So there's definitely it's more than just like the park side. It's Disney proper that's taking some hits as well. Honestly, he's so strong. Bob Iger has got this on lock. Like I wouldn't be worried about Disney as a company. They will come back. They will hire these people back. But no, he came back. He came back. Last I heard, Iger was taking the reins back through this insanity. $120 range still? Yep. What's the rule with Disney? Sub 120, you can buy. Wait for it to go back up to 140, 150, and then you sell. And then it's just going to keep doing that over and over and over again. Disney only goes up. Hitch would disagree. Hitch has a strict F the mouse policy. Okay, so this is 12. It's tasty. I know, man. I've already said you were right. I should have listened, and I didn't. Yeah. All right, guys. That looks like that looks like what we're playing with here, guys. I think I'm pretty confident with those. I know we are super crazy busy today, guys. I just want to give a shout out to Restream. It makes it so much easier for me to manage my chat. It makes it easier for me to keep track of everybody talking everywhere. YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, all of you guys talking in chat. It makes it a bigger community, and I love them for it. If you are a streamer, you need to check that tool out right there. It's amazing. Is SpaceX doing a launch today? So somebody's asking me, is space running off of the SpaceX launch? Look at that. Holy shit. It's up to 22. It's over 22. Holy crap. So space into their own launch. Does this just does it go to the 26 point or does it go past it? Does it go up to the 30s? I mean, it peaks around that 35 mark, but does it go up to that 30 line?
You better sell it on the launch day, though. Like, you don't do
Nope.
it into the launch.
No. Yeah, I'm doing it the day before the launch. I'm out on the 22nd, wherever it is. Close on the 22nd is when I'm out. Come hell or high water, no matter where it is. Yeah, I mean,
I did this play before. You remember? I just did it on Tesla.
right. I mean, I'm up $2,000 right now on space. That's not bad, but I mean, with a 17 average, if it goes up to 30, it's gonna be $5,000, right? $4,000. I'm gonna be up on that. Ballpark, close to.
How much did you initially had to invest to be up that much?
I've got $7,000 in it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But these options are up $1,000 right now too. The 1750s I've got for the 30th.
It's just sometimes hard for me to grasp how much you could make with options, like percentage-wise.
It's asinine. Some days it can be 400%. Some days it can be 10.
So let's say the stock, the value itself, like the share value, rises by 1%, and it differs.
It depends on the Greeks of the option, how much it will rise or fall. And Rita could open up her textbook, but in a nutshell.
I was gonna say the price isn't always an indicator on how the option moves either, because ACRX has had plenty of day where it moves down and my options move up.
That's what I mean. It's all about the Greeks.
Yeah.
In that sense, but
Toga,
that's just the nutshell.
Toga.
I see. Thanks.
Remember,
go ahead.
leverage cuts both ways. So.
Well, that's why I want to get out of. That's why I took the space calls for the 30th instead of the week of. Like, I'm not going to take the weeklies on the launch. I'm going to take the week following, so there's a little bit more room on it, and I'm going to get out before the launch even happens. So hopefully, I'm not going to get burned on the timing with that. Options, that's always where you seem to get cucked, is the timing of it. But lately, it's been a little bit better.
Yeah, I hate options.
I am a bigger fan of equity for sure.
I am so horrible with timing, and like it's really hard to like risk manage because I know my price targets are accurate, but if I like hit the timing too soon and then like the option just decays, and then I have to sit there and think like, in order to get break even, I need this option to move like plus like 100%, and I'm not down for that.
Yeah,
and like it's really like difficult to just hold on to it, even though I know my price targets are correct.
That's why Rita says the options are 8D problem.
I'm a basic guy, you know.
I like options for some reason. I like the challenge of them.
Yeah, I'm not looking like I don't need the gold star in my portfolio. I just need the dollars at the end of the day.
No, I mean for me, but obviously my option stuff right now is a lot shorter term. It's a lot more reactionary, so there's less in the equation. I don't have to worry about as much. I really just need the price to move, and is the implied volatility high or low? That's the only two things I'm looking at.
Yeah, as far as my level of complication, a D is a pass in my book. So long as I walk out with a bunch of dollars in my pockets, I don't care if I've got a D or not, right?
You like the D, don't you?
I love the D. Strongest D is really hard. Oh. 22.15, and it's just chilling here. Space, are you gonna go to 35 on your launch? Is that what you're gonna do for me? Is this happening?
Yeah, that's I was. Go ahead.
Aren't sorry, yeah.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Is it that easy though? Like it feels like aren't
Nope.
bigger institutions wouldn't they know that the launch is coming up, right? They play that and wouldn't they want to fuck over the small people? Like wouldn't they? Because if you bought your options today, like exactly when the launch is, and you want to get out before the launch, that's what everybody probably will do. So
Yes.
these institutions might want to fuck you over. So isn't it better to move out a day, like 2 days before launch or something like that? Because
So
I think
that'd be
Wednesday
true if I was
was-
taking my position today. But as soon as Space made the announcement of this launch date, they made it like a month and a half in advance, which was way too out. Even the big institutions are not playing this shit a month and a half out, right? They've got other things to do, especially with Apple events and NVIDIA drops and battery days. And like there was too much crap between the announcement and this date. So what I did was on the day of the announcement, Space got a pump, and I was like, okay, when this comes down to a certain point over the next week, as people forget about this, that's when I'm going to get in, and that's when I got in when it was dirt cheap.
And it did fall some more.
It did,
to be
yep.
fair. But that, I think that was market pull down as well. Because I almost entered because of that millennial. I almost got in at the 15s.
Yeah, like I got in with a 1761 average, so it definitely did drop down to the 15s. There was more room for it to go down, but for me, I'm kind of happy with that 17 line. That's kind of what I was looking at. And then, bam, just took off. It doesn't want to stop.
I have a greedy sell. I made my sell order today for my shares for Space for 28, and I thought like if it really spikes up by any chance or something like that, then that would be super greedy to 28. But if it just I didn't have the Space launch on my radar, so.
Well, this is interesting. Jacob Ling is in my chat saying that there's actually 2 more launches coming up from other companies. Northrop Grumman, I'm not familiar with them, and ULA both have a space. No, I don't know. I'm not familiar.
Grumman is a huge contractor.
Is it? Okay. Well, apparently they have a launch coming up.
I'm amazed that you don't know who they are. They're a huge company.
I'll have to write it down. I'll have to watch.
I didn't either, but they sound familiar.
Nope, I don't know them at all. Northrop Grumman. I'll take a look at them.
Absolutely massive government contractor. They were who our majority of clients are with, actually.
And who is ULA? I don't know ULA either. I'll have to look into this. I'll have to look at space as an industry and actually learn it instead of just doing the degen thing, which is, I know Virgin. I like Bronson. Me buy now.
Hey, bro, that was my DD.
Mine too.
Hey, I wasn't insulting you. We did the same level of due diligence on that. I like Bronson. Do you like Bronson? Yeah, we both like Bronson. Everybody trade Bronson. Okay.
Dude, everyone wants to be cool.
He's my favorite high school dropout.
Everyone wants to be cool with Bronson. Bronson's going to get more customers.
Anytime you put a high school dropout in charge of a massive global conglomerate, I'm in.
Sorry, I just love the Big Bang Theory. They did an episode on this, or a joke segment about this, how like one of the characters is just like, oh, well, you know, plenty of people that have become super successful that haven't gone to like post-secondary, that are also high school dropouts or something. And the response was, yeah, but you're neither of any of these people.
Yeah, that's true. I am neither of those people.
You know what the thing is, though? I hate when people say that. Like, oh, like, you know how many people didn't go to school? It's because they did something besides school. Like, these people were all very successful before they dropped out of high school. Like, I keep on hearing these stories like, oh, like, fucking Bill Gates dropped out of school or what the fuck?
Yeah,
ever.
Zuckerberg,
Like,
Gates,
Zuckerberg.
Bronson.
I'm like, yeah, dude, Zuckerberg has started like 3 companies before he did that. Like, you're just fucking, you're doing nothing. Unless
Yeah.
you
That's the
start a
key
company
detail.
that has a revenue of like $50,000, you should probably stay in school.
Well,
the key
and that's
detail
it. Like I was telling people, like when I dropped out of high school, I didn't just sit around picking my nose. I immediately started working. Like I left high school to start making money and learning how business worked. And then spent 10. I spent. I guess my time was my tuition as opposed to my dollars, right? Where I got paid to go learn instead of paying to learn.
The ones that I know are like, yeah, I'm gonna go make something myself. I'm gonna go start my first rap album or something.
Yeah, that's not you. Like,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. ULA
So I-
is United Launch Alliance. It's an offshoot of Boeing and Lockheed's rocket departments formed into a separate company.
okay.
The fuck? That sounds like a big deal.
Neither of those are very great at new technologies, so
But don't they
I'm
both
fine with-
carry massive federal contracts for that crap?
So here's another thing you have to worry about is as much as they are government contractors, you would look at the risk factor of staying with them for both rockets and planes. You probably, I would imagine you'd want to pick someone else up for rockets.
Oof, what did Spy just do?
I would
The
imagine,
U.S. Air Force.
up or
Oh yeah,
down.
the spy just pieced out.
Did it? Hell yeah.
That
Dong
is a
50 drop.
red dong of doom. Did Biden get COVID? What happened?
No, Powell's speaking.
Oh no. No, Powell. What have you done?
Recovery's been faster than expected, but outlook still highly uncertain.
That's gonna come back if that's what the news is on. Everyone fucking knows that.
Think about playing a little YOLO call here.
The U.S. Air Force on Friday awarded rocket builders ULA and Elon Musk's SpaceX contracts worth billions to launch national security missions. ULA, which won 60% of the launches, and SpaceX was one of the remaining 40 beat out north of Grumman, and Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin.
Blue Origin's gonna be fucking insane.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Is that going to be a split off, or is he going to run it under the Amazon branch?
it's split off. These are all split offs.
Oh, we've got another shooting. Texas police officer arrested on suspicion of murder and fatal shooting of Jonathan Price. Joe Biden says he will make Roe versus Wade the law of the land if Supreme Court overturns the landmark ruling.
I missed the rebound. Shit. I had a line and it hit it.
Man, that's a pretty. I mean, they are really drawing into their I was gonna say fan base, but their party base. Trump saying outright pro-life, vote me. Biden saying I'm just gonna make it. I don't know how you circumvent the Supreme Court though on legal matters, but he's saying he's gonna do it. Is there a vehicle in U.S. law that you can just circumvent the Supreme Court as the president?
Not that I
Executive
know
order.
of. Yeah, but executive orders isn't like a law; it's like an action.
Even
As
if
far as I know, you can't.
you can challenge an
anything
executive
until-
order legally, can't you? They like you can appeal it. They've done that with Trump several times on his executive orders, where they appeal it to the Supreme Court and look to a ruling, right?
So I don't think so. Not in the way that you think. The thing is like he can make the executive order, but you challenge it based on like I don't have to do that. So like the executive order still stands, but you can't make me.
There's no teeth to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you issue an executive order, we're taking all your guns, and they go, Second Amendment, no, you're not.
But then but the federal government can go try still. You just have to go to court to say like, no, you can't do that.
Taking away Hitch's
No.
guns.
Like both legislative statutes and regulations promulgated by government agencies, executive orders are subject to judicial review and may be overturned if the order lacks support by statute or constitution. So the Supreme Court can trump an executive order.
The thing is like
No, you
time.
still have to go to court. What he's saying is they can still do it, but then later it's overturned. I think.
I see what
Yeah.
you're saying. Okay. So it just creates a complicated gray area. So the Supreme Court makes a ruling against Roe versus Wade. Biden then puts through an executive order that's legislative, and it stays alive until the Supreme Court rules on that executive order, and then it just vetoes it, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So all it does is like it's really just a. I don't want to say. Well, it is superficial, right? It's just for show. It doesn't
Basically,
actually do anything.
It's not superficial.
I'll
Because
do
it
it
will
until
be
some-
overturned and it will be reversed. But there's some gray time and area.
Okay. Interesting.
They're still fighting over fucking Obamacare.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know
So
that.
what happened? Obamacare's still in effect for 4 fucking years, bro.
Yeah.
Although that's a legislative fight, really.
Interesting. Spy recovering here? Are we seeing it come back? Yeah, it came right back. Hey, Hedge, look. It bounced right back. If only somebody had called
no.
that.
If only someone figured it out.
How's BlackBerry
did
doing
it-
today? That slow climb from BlackBerry today.
I've been listening to that book.
Which one?
The
I vomited a little bit.
Okay, I did hot mic. All right, I did turn off the mic when you started talking about which book you were reading, but yeah, Ray Dalio Principles. If we're discussing that, I want that hot mic'd. This was one of my most painful reads that I have ever forced myself through, and I literally had to force myself through this thing.
Really?
I did
Oh,
not enjoy the read.
I'm not
I
a
don't
fan
mind
of
it,
that
actually.
one, sorry.
I was like, oh, you failed and had to close everything down, and then you had to open another one, and it failed, and you had to close everything down, and then you had to open another one. And it was just like, oh, why am I still reading this? Why am I
That's
still
what,
reading
like-
this?
That's what I like. The one thing I don't like about the book, he's like, yeah, and then I was broke and I had to shut down the company, and then I just did it again, and now like and then like a month later, I was talking to like the fucking Federal Reserve chair and got this huge thing. I'm like, wait a minute, whoa, you skipped a couple steps there, homeboy.
Yeah,
Like-
let's go back, shall we? Your ass
What
was
do you-
completely broke, and then
Your ass is completely broke. You laid off all your staff, and then a month later, you're talking to fucking like getting these couple of $100 billion contracts. Like, how? Wait, you skipped a step. How did that happen?
yeah.
That's the one
Or
thing I
you could
don't
just
like.
learn from Buffett, who did it for 60 years straight and still sitting around. Like I told you so.
Yeah, but Buffett's dead, remember? Davey Day
Oh,
Trader
yeah.
is the new
Oh,
Buffett.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Oh,
Ooh,
God.
anymore, right? You know,
Who needs solid long-term results when you can pick stocks out of a Scrabble bag during a bull market?
Oh, look,
Future.
it's almost as if the SPY is recovering exactly because we already knew the information that homeboy's putting out.
I always
I
laugh.
know.
I laugh when Powell speaks now because, like, anybody know what Powell spoke on? No, I didn't actually listen to it, but I imagine it's something like this. We've done everything we can. We are still holding ammo in the cartridge should we need to do it again, but really the government has to do their job and they're not doing it. So whenever they get around to doing it, great. Like
Honestly, I'm just
that's
gonna
been
vote for
every
Powell.
talk. Yeah.
I'm just
Can we
gonna vote for
do
Powell
that?
for president?
Can we do that? Can we have the head of the Fed be president at the same time?
You know what? I actually don't know.
I don't think so.
I would imagine they cannot be, but
Yeah, I would say that makes it
What did we-
complicit.
I was gonna say that, what was it? A lot of people have to die.
No, I just mean like legally, can that actually be a thing?
I don't think so. I think by law
you'd
that
have to
they
renounce
have
a
to be
share.
separate. Yeah, they
Yeah.
have to be
Does
separate.
the name Rita, does the name David Bateman mean anything to you? Or
Isn't that
Johnny
the
Robb?
guy from Twin Peaks?
No, or Johnny Robb. So apparently, Whole Mars catalog says that he retweeted something from David Bateman. He says, "So Trevor Milton served my home with a civil lawsuit today claiming defamation."
Hey, Spyrock, how you doing, man?
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's a
Trevor's
defamation
going
suit?
around-
Trevor's suing everybody.
No. Bro,
Yeah,
But again,
you were given an out.
Thunder.
You were given an out. Just go silently into the night. Don't kick and scream.
you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna say he has to appear in court for one of these lawsuits, and then they're just gonna arrest him when he walks in.
Ooh. For fraud? Like the SEC or
Yeah.
somebody is just gonna be waiting on him?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's what they're gonna do.
thank you for answering the subpoena and go directly to jail. Do not pass go, and we will take your
Dude's gonna
mansion
say he's
keys.
gonna come in to sign some papers.
It took-
We've got a check
This
here
is
for you, Trevor.
Mahomes 2.5 years to get charged by the SEC, so it's gonna be a long fucking battle.
As somebody
think
got
so. This
got
is-
hit with that
if
bait and
this is true,
switch
this
in
is
my
gonna be one of
lifetime.
the biggest fraud cases in SEC history.
That would be hilarious. Yeah, we got a check here we need you to sign, Trevor. Can you just come on in and sign on the dotted line here? It's a nice big fat check, too. Come on in. Like, click. Handcuffs in the door.
As somebody who's gone through something like that, I can say it's not fun.
You've been arrested for fraud?
Well, hold on. I'm going to turn that. Yeah, okay. On that note, I'm going to turn the hot mic off. Public admission of guilt on live stream, yeah. All right, guys. I mean, it's been a nutty morning. Is there anything you guys want me to take a look at before I peace out of here? I have never been arrested. Never, never, never. ASPAC's still worth getting into. I think so. I think it will still have a run. I think it's a good day all around, guys. Helion? It's an actual EV company that has things and stuff. My thoughts on the BlackBerry news are that it's massive. That they've got a suite that does that, and it's not dependent on cloud. It's huge. No, I'm Canadian. That was good, man. I did my time of service. I took oath to Queen and Country. I am a wonderful, wonderful man. Never tell me the odds. I've looked at JBL before. I like them. But even the English kings spoke French. There are English kings that have spoken French, Goss. I get a pass. There's somebody keeping it down, Saki, but I think that's why it's a long play for me, 5-10 years. Yeah, I don't care about minimum wage redemption. I haven't made it in years. CRB comes out next week, though. The 12th, the CRB drop. Yeah, I got 2% on the day with my equity. I'm up 12% on my options. I'm pretty happy with today. It's looking good. Godfather, you are always welcome to come, but there will always be historical facts. Let's just say there are plenty in English King that have gotten the French tongue. Kala, I can take a look at Kala real quick before I head out here. I'm getting ready to close up shop, but they're profitable. They beat on revenue. That's good. Okay, so this is a dry eye drug. If Biden wins, this is huge. Sol is just the sector. Sol's running on the sector. That's all. I got hotkeys for that. Where it's like, whoop, nope, that can't. That's not a hot mic thing. I do think fuel is likely to come back, especially given California's commitment to hydrogen and solar. Apparently, the SPY is going bonkers again, so let's take a look at that.
Like I bought some BNTX shares
Yeah.
because I want to hold them for possible news or for possible pops on COVID, because I got it out of Stocky's channel that they that they have a contract with almost all of the big pharma companies. But I wonder what your thoughts are. Is this company gonna jump up for even bad news on Trump?
So it's not every company, and this is where a bit of the due diligence is slightly off. I'm not gonna say wrong, but off on this thing. So BNTX has production with
I don't know.
Moderna and
even looked at the
Pfizer.
ticker before. I can't answer.
Yeah, so BNTX, it's a little bit off. It's not exactly accurate, the DD on it, where people are like, oh, they're making everybody's drug. That's not true. Pfizer and Moderna have a portion of their production deal with BNTX, is what the news is there. So Moderna is looking like they are falling far behind on this, and they may not even have a significant improvement over even something like Remdesivir. So it's not looking like it's too hot for them. Pfizer is going to be one of the early players, but in my opinion, with everything that I'm reading, I think AstraZeneca beats them to market on approval through the EMA. I think the EMA is going to give AstraZeneca approval. UK is going to start using that vaccine, and you got to know that the US is going to look like they got a big old black eye if AstraZeneca is working for the UK and the states passed it up.
Oh, ouch. Okay.
So the second that the EMA made the announcement of the rolling review, that's bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers. It's literally any day somebody at the EMA can go, yeah, we like what we see enough that you can just go ahead and start giving people this. It's literally any day. Whereas with the FDA, there's still the process where they have to submit right now some level of data, which means they have to complete the study. AstraZeneca doesn't even need to complete their study.
So they will kill people.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say they were going to kill people.
Yeah, but I don't mean like literally, but putting them into risk because on the, you know what I mean, right? Like I have no idea about these things. So
yeah,
say stupid things.
with AstraZeneca, the thing is, and in my mind, this is for the US and the UK both. And they're seeing this more and more in the polls, but we've heard it also here in our groups. We've heard it talking with people. When the question is asked, are you going to take any of these vaccines that get approved right away? The majority of people are saying, no, I'm not. Now, who is saying yes to it? People that are already severe critical and people that are people that are in high-risk demographics, right? If you've got cystic fibrosis or you're over the age of 65, those vaccines are looking a whole lot more palatable than not. So I think for AstraZeneca to get a rapid approval in the UK, you're not going to see mass adoption on this thing, but what you are going to see is the most vulnerable taking it. And if it does produce results with very limited secondary risk, the rest of the world is going to light up. Now, AstraZeneca has deals with just about everybody at this point. They're all over Europe. They've got Japan locked in. They've got South Korea locked in. They've got portions of Africa. They've got India locked in. The US is the only one kind of humming and hawing over what they're going to do with AstraZeneca, but I think that's largely political, where Trump wants it to be an American company, right? He wants it to be Pfizer, or he wants it to be Johnson & Johnson that win through. But I think ultimately, if the UK puts out a vaccine before the US elections, expect the hard lean from the executive to get this thing in the US as well. Do I think foreign stocks will go down if Trump gets reelected? No. Maybe China.
Most of the other foreign countries actually love Trump, especially in the Asian countries.
I think the UK market does well if Trump gets reelected. Johnson and Trump are the mirror image across the pond, right? I think that they do well for each other. I think the Canadian economy is in big trouble for sure. To say that Trudeau and Trump are not fans of each other is an understatement.
Hey, we can just eventually, when we collapse, we can burn our currency for warmth, but I don't know how well it's going to do with the plastic shit that they have in there, but you know.
All right, guys, it's been a crazy day. Space has done well. BlackBerry's doing well. SPY's kind of all over the place.
That's what we'll become. We'll...
Do I think Canadians are mostly anti-Trump? I don't know what Canadians think. As a Canadian, I don't really follow it, but that is it for me today. It's lunchtime, guys. Have an amazing day. Market's looking good. I will be back tomorrow, 4:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for letting me sleep in today, guys. Have an amazing day. Again, if you're not using Restream and you are a broadcaster, I highly recommend you check it out. There it is. Have an amazing day.